Hello, everybody, and welcome to WarCrafters for April 13th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 15. I am Merwat, and I am without the sentient AI from the future today. They're recompiling their code or something. I don't know. They don't really tell me what's going on, but they'll be back probably tomorrow, maybe later today. It really depends on how fast they get done with their sentient AI from the future work. I don't know. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Metal Eden, Fast Hands, Minecraft's End update, or Minecraft's End. Anyway, 450, 430, and Blueprints is meta mist-like, and I love the game. We'll talk about it on the other side of this because everything is powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen, and you'll be able to deal with all of this news, manage your information overload. It's all news, no noise. Conversation is actually pretty limited even on the site, but conversation takes place here on the shows on YouTube and on Twitch, Discord, Patreon, the podcast, etc., wherever y'all want to. But I really like talking about the news live, and so the summer of stream is going to consist of upwards of 8 hours of show where I parse all of the news that is being aggregated into ohmtown.com in our 4th year. I'm hoping to grow the channel dramatically this summer, and I hope to see you there. Again, everything is powered by ohmtown, so this is our intro. All right, so we got 5 articles. I already gave you what the titles I assigned, but the real titles are on the other side of this. So let's get into it. The first article is over on the Marble channel. Metal Eden looks like everything that this author loves about Doom in an extremely sci-fi package. The author here, it's over at Vice, but they say that they love it when people put them onto a game that they didn't know about, and Metal Eden now squarely is in their crosshairs. The sci-fi element alone would have gotten them to lock into this, but throwing the boomer shooter speed and violence on it was enough to get them to wish list it immediately. And there's a quote here. It doesn't actually end, so let's just actually go over to the source. Anthony Franklin II put the article together, and it says, dive into cybernetic warfare against the machine forces that protect the secrets of an artificial world. Fight a diverse roster of tough, agile mecha troops and elemental forces. Extract energy cores and destroy the internal defense core shields to gain a battle zone advantage. Develop your arsenal and combat capabilities to become an unstoppable hyper unit, says the Steam page on Metal Eden. So it says, wait, did you also get Titanfall in Metal Eden? I suppose you actually can go and check this out. There is a link. If you want today's articles, you can hit !WC for WarCrafters, and Omatron will spit the articles out in the order that we're going to talk about them. But that's not really the order of where you may value them. It's not a top list or anything like that. It's just how they were aggregated. So they say that they started the Metal Eden demo on their laptop before it became very obvious very quickly that it wasn't ready for the game. So they downloaded it onto their PlayStation, and they say that they they were impressed. So the movement is smooth and appropriately fast. And on top of that, we can do some wall running Titanfall style, and that they can't wait to go find the gameplay clips of this and find out more about it. So what's going to make Metal Eden stand out, though, is what it does with its weapons. There's a pretty big opportunity to get creative with the guns and mods in the game, but coming from Rycon Games, the people who made Ruiner, they really have no reason to doubt what they can do to make the gunplay feel good. There's a demo out right now. It says it'll launch on May 6th, 2025 on PC, Xbox, and PS5. It's basically, they say, I know it's the least favorite of the 2 Doom games, but they think that sci-fi setting benefits most of the speed from the speed. But they say that Metal Eden does feel a lot like Doom Eternal speed-wise, but it's a sci-fi game, and I don't really like the merging of it. Doom is this weird composite kind of a game, but this actually is seemingly hardcore sci-fi. I'm going to mute it because I don't want to get tagged for violating some whatever. What's funny is I can play all of this stuff. I just can't leave it as a VOD. So I can stream this live, talk about it all I want to, but just not record it. The audio component of it, or have a virtual track that goes away in the recording. It doesn't exist in the VOD, so there's a VOD track. At any rate, it looks like Doom, but it looks like every other shooter that I've ever experienced, where there's different levels. It doesn't seem like there's a real purpose to each of the levels, but sometimes shooters are just there for you to have fun and not sit there and try and struggle with a deep and meaningful storyline. You just do the extraction and get out and that kind of thing. Anyway, seems like a fun game for those who might be interested in it, which is why I chose to include it in this article. So, in this show, I love these kind of games. I mostly now just watch people play them. But maybe this summer I'll be playing this too. Metal Eden. Looks like it might be fun. Let's keep on going. The next article is over in Reality Hacker. That's a show that was on Saturday. I couldn't do it, so I got in the time machine on Sunday, went back in time and did Reality Hacker, Wanted, and the Continuity Report. So all three of those are still in the live category over on YouTube and in VODs here on Twitch as well. If you want to go back and check those out, go for it. But we have close to 2,100 episodes, maybe more than that nowadays. It's been a couple of months since I've paid attention to the number of episodes that we've done, but a total of somewhere around 2,100 episodes of all of them together: Non Sequitur News, Reality Hacker, Wanted, the Continuity Report, WarCrafters, Technology Today, and later today is going to be FourWheelTech. So they all have their niche, and all of them are available over on YouTube, and you can download the 4 seasons of podcasts, or 2 seasons for the weekly shows. All right, Fast Hands. It's over in Reality Hacker. Fast Hands brings parkour action to Quest in May, aiming to level up hand-tracked locomotion. Indie studio X82 announced that it's releasing a parkour game next month that's throwing in a veritable buffet of unique locomotion styles, hoping to put Quest's hand tracking on par with controller-based movement, which I don't think that's really possible. Controllers have direct connections, whereas hand detection, hand tracking has to extrapolate what your hands are doing, and there's even milliseconds of gesture time recognition slows down the whole interaction, and it kind of makes things suck. But they say called Fast Hands, the multiplayer game offers up endless procedurally generated levels that let you run, jump, climb, glide, tasking you to progress through obstacles filled with moving traps, speed boosts, and its fair share of impossible jumps. So let's see what this thing looks like on the other side. Scott Hayden over at roadtovr.com put the article together. I don't know if there's a video. Oh, there is. So for whatever reason, whenever we get into VR, it turns into this cartoonish, not realistic type of interface. In fact, Marathon, the game that was just announced yesterday or Friday, it's high speed, it's hyperkinetic, it looks like every other extraction shooter, and it slips into this stylistic kind of thing, and I don't get it. I understand the purpose of it. They want to make their own identity, but I don't buy into it. At any rate, so while you can play seated and with controllers, the game uses hand tracking to go a lot further than most, getting out of your chair to pump up your arms for forward movement, glide through the air like Superman, skitter up walls using your stick spider hands to blast verticals at a surprisingly fast pace. Says check out the trailer. So let's play this. It's muted, but yeah, they want to track your gestures. I don't know. I don't want to look like a goober just sitting there going like this. Palms down, do this, do that, whatever. Yeah, that's kind of fun to sit there and control how you fly, particularly if it has that same if you can do more than just sit there and go like that to make yourself glide. All of it looks like it might be neat, but this whole, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Matrix-esque style, or I should say 80s style Matrix interface just kind of leaves me wanting more. Doesn't make any sense to me. It definitely isn't something that I can really attach to, but I love the idea of VR games. I use the Pico 4. I'm waiting for what may be the replacement of the Index. I don't know what it's going to be called. There's always rumors that it's being called Deckard, but that might be somebody else's property. I don't know. Anyway, seems pretty like a neat video, or I should say a neat game, but I don't know if I'd really buy into it. So although fundamentally a parkour game, there's also some shooting involved too, serving up targets and other players that you can hit with your trusty slingshot and pull one hand back to charge and then aim with the other hand, with or without controllers. It says it's an interesting array of hand track stuff for sure, and that they can't wait to see it in action when it arrives in Quest 2 and above. You'll find it over on the Horizon store when it launches in May, on May 8th. But I hope that it actually goes over to Steam, PCVR, and isn't relegated to just Quest. In the meantime, they say X82 is hosting closed multiplayer beta testing on the Fast Hands Discord, and they have an invite link over at Road to VR. It's not going to be found on ohmtown.com. All right, let's keep going, though. The next article is over in WarCrafters, Why Minecraft Doesn't Need an End Update. This is somebody's observation. Jack Peachy over at GameRant.com put the article together. It says an end update is something fans have been envisioning for almost a decade, but the idea really ramped up when the Nether got an overhaul in 2020. The Nether update completely revamped the dimension, adding diverse flora and fauna in addition to a smorgasbord of new resources. The Nether will also be getting more flowers in the update that includes Minecraft's Happy Ghast mob, which I think is silly, which is set to fully release this summer. But they're saying that it could be more trouble than it's worth, but the end is literally devoid of anything interesting. It has one purpose, and I've never really liked the storyline of Minecraft in and of itself, other than the fact that I can install a ton of mods and make it immensely more interesting and irritating. But I don't really care about the dragon at the end of it, and the end and all of that kind of stuff just is kind of boring to me. I don't like the idea of having to go to the end just to get wings to fly and whatever else. I love the world building that people have added to it via mods. So it says the end is Minecraft's loneliness manifested. Playing single player Minecraft, especially in the game's earliest days, can be a lonely experience. The world is so vast, and I love playing it with multiple people. Even if I'm the only one on the server, the option for somebody to join me at any time really is something that stands out for me. I love the idea of being able to invite the community to come and hang out in a Minecraft world. In fact, I'm considering having a permanent ohmTown Minecraft world and other worlds as we approach the Summer of Stream, which is an annual event that takes place every year now for the last 3 years. This is going to be the 4th year. So they say the world is so vast and its creatures are so obtuse that a sense of creeping isolation can set in, something that can make players feel as if they're not alone, but still isolated, I guess. I don't know. That feeling is where Minecraft's Herobrine came from. No, it's just somebody decided to come up with some meme level observation about whatever. And it's also responsible for other similar urban legends. Even in today's more crowded Minecraft, a feeling of loneliness shines through at times. Like during a solo adventure, when C418's music is hitting just right, giving players a sense of utter immersion within an impossibly large virtual world. So they say Minecraft's end poem highlights the dimension's true purpose. This loneliness serves as a narrative end in addition to its thematic purposes. The end has always been a bit strange, considering that Minecraft is a sandbox game with no definitive endpoint, but there is a progression to end. Literally in the end, it describes the transition of leaving the end, saying the player woke up from a dream and the player began a new dream. And the player dreamed again, dreamed better. Both dimensions are referred to as dreams, as is the player's experience in the real world, referred to as the long dream of life. This is all, I think, retconning stuff. It's the world building making it relevant when I don't think that any of it actually truly was in the beginning of it. It was just a step to get to one thing to another. So the poem congratulates the player on their task of besting the end. Quote, I like this player. But it also frees them of any obligation they might have to find structure in a sandbox game. The end stands out as a nightmare from which players should want to escape, and it helps them appreciate the beauty and creativity in the end's sister dimensions. But again, there isn't anything there. It has one purpose, and it's just kind of meh. Why leave it stagnant? Why not evolve it? Does it have a purpose? Yes. Well, then leave an old school version of it for people to, go back and feel nostalgia for this old stuff. But I don't like being stagnant. I like moving forward. It's one of the dynamics of ohmTown. There's always something new coming. So I prefer the new dynamic. So download Minecraft and then install a shit ton of mods and have a good time. And don't worry about that particular storyline. Just have a good time with your friends and do some world building and crafting and modding and whatnot. That's what I prefer. In fact, I keep thinking about that being the forever game that I've been hunting for a forever game for years. And Minecraft keeps filtering up to the top, but then there's no story there. There's no plot. There's nothing. So I just don't know. Maybe the right mod will show up with a whole bunch of quests and makes it fun and is open to a whole bunch of people playing at the same time, but isn't really this soul-crushing, Souls-like die and go get your corpse and then die and go get your corpse. Ugh, it's frustrating. I don't like that. Anyway, Minecraft is a fun game, and I'm looking forward to things like... No Man's Sky was a similar thing where you can build and there's story, but it's like little bottles of story. And I don't know, I'm not really into that either. And so I'm hoping that Light No Fire is going to be my forever game. But I've said that before, only for it to flame out. Not Light No Fire, other games. All right, let's keep on going though. This is a fun article. Go over and check out what Jack PG has to say. There's more over there over at GameRant.com. But it's up for you to go and check it all out. Okay, let's keep going. The next article is over in WarCrafters as well. Gamers can grab $450 worth of Steam games for just $30. I don't know if this is still going. Fanatical's latest Build Your Own Adventure Bundle allows PC gamers to grab over $450 worth of Steam games for under $30. The PC game retailer's newly launched promotion will be available until late April 2025. I have not gone to this yet. Dominic Bosnick put the article together, and it says here, formerly known as Bundle Stars, Fanatical is an authorized reseller of digital PC games that mostly deals in Steam keys. The retailer has been offering frequent bundles, freebies, and other sorts of deals since launching in 2012. So I'm going to go over and check this out. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Oh, I can't. I keep forgetting that I am air gapped, so I can't just hop on over there like everybody else can. All right. So yeah, you can basically, wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Cryofall, what is that game? Arborea, Terracotta, Splash, Lumentum, Broken Sword 4, The Angel of Death, Dr. Livingstone, I presume, and Reversed Escape Room. Atone, Heart of the Elder Tree, Epic Journeys Double Pack, Deponia and Friends Triple Pack, there's 3 different Deponia ones, which is all the rage, really. Welcome to Elk, Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, and 6 more, maybe more. I don't know. It says 7 games. Wait, there's got to be something else going on here, because I talked about a bunch of stuff. So, all right. Well, anyway, go and check it all out. It's called Build Your Own Adventure. Starts from $3, 3 for $4.99, and add games to start saving. And the more you add, the more you save. I don't think they have an option to add everything though. Then there's something else beyond the steel sky. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is an interesting website. You'll have to go and check it all out. Fanatical.com. So I went over there to check it out, and I kind of talked you all through it. So these are the games that they have listed here over at GameRant.com. These are all of them. And it's $458.75. Who knows what the real price is, after tariffs and taxes. No, this is the retail pricing, $458.75. Ongoing promotion is compatible with 18 items in total. However, several of them are 2 and 3 packs. So this bundle actually adds up 25 PC adventure games. Based on regular retail pricing, it's $460. So pretty cool. The Spring 2025 edition of Fanatical's Build Your Own Adventure Bundle promotion will run until April 20th, so you have a week from today. The retailer is likely to launch even more themed deals before this particular promo comes to an end, so go over to fanatical.com and check it all out. And our last article for today's WarCrafters, is over in the WarCrafters channel at ohmtown.com. Blueprints is a mystery-packed mansion that will crank open your mind. This thing is Myst on steroids, as I called it. The house at Mount Holly has 45 rooms, but the placement of each of those rooms is up to you, and it resets every day. You've been left the house and its estate in an inheritance, but only if you can find the mysterious 46th room. In this way, Blueprints blends its puzzles in both deck building and roguelite elements. When you open the entrance hall door at the start of every morning, you'll be given a choice of 3 rooms that might lie beyond. Each of them has a fixed number and orientation of doors, limiting your options to progress through the mansion itself. And so what you see are blueprints, Prints, but the game is called Blueprints, Prince. No 2 rooms at Mount Holly are the same, nor do they even stay in the same place from day to day. You have a certain number of steps. Every time you transition from one room to another, you lose a step at least. Sometimes you can find food or some other perk that gives you some more steps, but not always. So you might, for instance, draw the bedroom and get rewarded with 10 additional steps to use throughout the day, or you might draw the weight room and lose half of your carefully scrounged footsteps. The game's step counter is limited on your movement, and you can't walk forever through the house, and if you run out of steps, you have to come back the next day and start from scratch. Or you might draw the parlor and have to solve a truth and lie logic puzzle to get gems, which you can spend on drafting more useful rooms later. It's a lot of fun. But it's kind of a roguelite with cards, and to me, it's a chill adventure Myst that is meta in that steps in one place can affect something else. The graphics aren't the Myst level, but some of the puzzles can be complex, but the plurality of puzzles and the fact that I think this has unlimited replayability, because every time you go in, there's something random. And so whatever 45 would be, I'd have to calculate the odds, but it's some derivative of the 45 different cards that can be placed within the grid. And that's what it looks like. Pardon me. It's not showing the picture of the way that the mansion looks, but it's basically a series of squares, and you plop rooms in place as you progress through rooms. You can't go way far up. You can't really predict what you're going to get. But if you play your cards right, you can actually find the 46th room, which is at the top of the map, but you start at the bottom and you have to work your way up. I'm not sure if you have to hit every single room to get to the 46th room, or if you can speed run your way through straight to it, because it's shown on the map, but you just can't necessarily get to it. So it's really interesting, and I really dig this game. I tried it out when it was an early demo. I've tried it out from time to time, but then it just dropped. So go and check it out. It's over on Steam, and it's available right now. With that in mind, we're going to roll some cards, and that's going to bring us back to the WarCrafters front page over at ohmtown.com, where you should go and become a citizen. Please go and check it out. Sign up, sign in, come and hang out with us every day, 7 p.m. Eastern. Saturday and Sunday, we're typically doing this at 4 p.m., but my mayoral duties kept me from doing the show yesterday, so I've already done 3 time machines, and this is the first, and we're running about an hour late. The Sentient AI isn't available at the moment, but I'm hoping that they will become available for Technology Today and or FourWheelTech, but we'll see. That said, thank you for coming and hanging out for WarCrafters, which is all about gaming, and hope to see you next week at least. Hopefully tomorrow, 7 p.m. I don't know. Hope to see you in ohmTown. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.